Vice President Kamala Harris gave her concession speech yesterday, and I think that there's a lot that we can take from it. I know that there's a lot of people who are really worried about the results of the election. Here she is trying to reassure them about the process.
Now I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results. That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it. At the same time, in our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States. While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
So look, it's a good message to deliver. The crowd seemed to like it. And obviously, we're gonna have some criticism of some of the nature of that fight. She's not conceding that. To be clear, that's probably it for her politically in terms of aspirate. It is very difficult in the modern era to run again after losing. The only way that even Donald Trump was able to beat that historic trend was to take tens of millions of Americans and wrap them up in a comfortable fantasy that the election had been stolen from him. Only by them convincing themselves against literally all evidence that he had not in fact lost was he able to come back and win power once again. She clearly is not trying to do that. She's reassuring all of us about the process and the peaceful transfer of power. And I like that for us. Let's be clear, a lot of people are pointing out, hey, they're not talking about voter fraud anymore. And she's demonstrating that we can transfer power peacefully. No, there are no lessons for them to learn. They don't come out of this with more faith in the voting process. They don't come out of this with more faith in the peaceful transfer of power. All of that will continue to be contingent on whether they won. Hypocrisy no longer encapsulates their worldview. It's whatever is good for me right now, or whatever some billionaire has convinced me to think is good for me right now. They will go right back to claiming the Democrats are rigging the vote next time, even though next time Trump will literally be in charge of a lot of this. So obviously I'm frustrated. We're gonna get to more clips, but Sabrina, I wanted to give you a chance to weigh in on the beginning of the concession speech.
No, you're right. It was a lot more calm, demure this time around. And it truly is just because their side won this time around. I think it's just because they feel entitled to, having that majority vote to the White House. And they think that it's just truly what they think that they deserve. So I think that's why they're okay with what's happening right now. It's really disappointing. I did vote for Kamala. She wasn't my ideal candidate, but she would have been better than Trump. But yeah, very happy that the transition is at least going to be peaceful, because I think that's what a lot of people were very scared of. I think they were prepared for a lot of violence and a lot of just sitting in the unknown. We didn't think that we were going to get results this quickly. So at the very least, that fear is put to rest. And now we have a whole new batch of things to be worried about.
Yeah. And by the way, everyone spare a little bit of compassion for the right-wing lawyers that were gearing up to make bank in the next few months trying to steal the election from Harris if she had won. They unfortunately will not be able to do that, and it breaks my heart for them. But anyway, as we both said, they're gonna go right back to claiming, some people will be like, but there was no evidence of fraud, so that's now a fact. And if they start claiming fraud in the future, we can point back to this. No, but that was already true about 2020. Like all of this is utterly irrelevant. The core thing, the core component and appeal of Trump's political movement is people being told you don't ever need to be better than you are right now. In fact, you can be way worse, and that would be awesome. Expect nothing of yourself. Be small and whining and entitled, and you can do all of those things, and that's great. Everything can be the way you need it to be psychologically. That is what they have produced for them. And so the election was totally legitimate because Trump won. If he had lost, if 4 points different had happened in a few of these states, then it would have been 100% illegals voting, no evidence needed, no mules needed. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.